Michele Cummins and myself, Curtis Pope. So we went through some of the news that's going on. What are we talking about here on the second segment?
Well, I wanted to bring up an article, of course. The name of the article is Suddenly BC to Become Tough on Crime. So kind of focusing on... we're concentrating on BC news today. And yeah, suddenly. Does that surprise you?
That's just it's a weird, headline to me because it's like, I like to think that the police forces have been doing their job. Suddenly we're doing our job. No, I don't know what they're writing here. I got a lot of friends that are police officers. Maybe I'm being a little overly sensitive. It just sounds odd to me. Suddenly we're tough on crime.
Okay, so
suddenly we're tougher on crime. Maybe is what they should have done.
Yeah, that would. You know how they are with the article, right?
Yes.
It's got to be, grab the attention.
It's got to grab your attention.
Yeah. So after 5 years of watching street crimes spiral out of control, as Attorney General, BC's new premier plans to crack down on chronic offenders. So this is from Frank O'Brien, of course, the Western Investor again, just came out. So the BC government has launched a Safer Communities Action Plan that aims to keep repeat offenders off the streets and strengthen communities, according to David Eby, who has been BC Attorney General for the past 5 years. The role of the Attorney General, if you didn't know, is to provide legal advice to the government and the initiation and conduct of all prosecutors. I can talk.
They're basically the top lawyer in the province.
I did have a sip of Christmas coffee, no, I'm joking. Of criminal offenses. Yes, exactly. You said it, Curtis.
I just dumbed it down. It's the top lawyer in the province.
So people might not know that if they're from the States. No.
But you have attorney generals down there in the States by state, don't you?
Everything's so different.
Different type of bureaucracy?
Jump over, but yes.
Plus, you have federal and city and everything. It can be. Yeah, I can see it be a little different.
Mm-hmm. A little more convoluted.
Yes.
A little more. So Eby stepped down as AG to run unopposed for the Premier's chair. So now, Premier David Eby made the safety announcement on November 20th, just days after being sworn into office, saying that suddenly public safety is now his key priority. The plan recognizes that there is zero tolerance for violence in BC and concentrates on helping people overcome the process of being in and out of jail, he said. However, as the opposition BC Liberals noted, all of the changes could have been made months ago, and many have been demanding by experts for a long time. So in April of this year, for example, mayors representing BC's biggest communities called on the provincial government for more support to stop repeat offenders amid a rise in property crimes and random assaults. Our residents, frontline police officers, and our councils are frustrated. We implore the province and for your ministries to move forward quickly on tangible solutions, the letter from the BC Urban Mayors and Caucus said. Since 2017, when Eby took over as Attorney General, there has been a 118% increase in the amount of time the province takes to review files it receives from police, and a 75% increase in the rate of the BC Prosecution Service choosing to not change suspects based on police cases, according to the letter. The mayors had flagged cases where super chronic offenders had 50 convictions, oh my goodness, or more, and were still walking free. I know so many people who are very upset about this. That was my little input there.
Well, it is true. I mean, it is frustrating when you see people out of chronically been in and out of jail or wherever else, and whenever you see their picture online or in the newspaper that they're, been arrested again for whatever crime, and then you read 3 weeks later that they're out on bail or whatever. Yeah, it's a frustrating thing.
It is, because look at all the harm and the crime they're doing in between every single time. Like, how many times? It's like 3 strikes, you're out. That's what I always say.
It's a bit of a revolving door.
So more than 900 innocent people have been violently attacked by strangers in the Vancouver area alone since the BC Liberals first called on David Eby to issue a directive to Crown prosecutors and end this harmful catch and release policy for repeat criminal offenders. Liberal leader Kevin Falcon said in a press release following Eby's safety plan announcement. It's clear that what was announced this morning had been prepared for months and was withheld for David Eby to opportunistically take the credit. For David Eby to play politics and public safety is unacceptable, is what he says. So Eby said that one of the first steps in setting up a coordinated response terms to address the issue of violent offenders. These teams are made up of police, dedicated prosecutors, probation officers, he said. Their mission is to prevent violent crime before it happens, and when it does happen, to make sure that violent offenders wait for trial in custody and not in our community. The plan also calls for increasing response to those in mental health crisis with initiatives like 12 new peer-assisted care teams, some of them indigenous-led. These peer-assisted teams intervene when people are in mental health crisis in our streets, freeing up police to focus on crime instead of social services, is what Eby said. Eby said, Attorney General Mary Rankin will instruct prosecutors to implement a clear and understandable bail policy for repeat violent offenders within existing federal guidelines. We're also providing training and services for prosecutors to work with police to make sure that the materials that are put in front of the court in the case of a violent offense are complete, so the court is making a decision on all of the facts and can protect the public, he said. The plan will also deal with the high numbers of indigenous people in the justice system. Eby said action includes opening 10 new justice centers across the province to go with 3 that are already in operation. Eby said people struggling with addictions and mental health need treatment to get better, and the plan calls for a new model of care for them that moves seamlessly from crisis response in our emergency rooms and our streets to detox, to treatment and supportive housing. Nanaimo Mayor Leonard Krog praised the plan's scope. We've all seen the impacts of criminal behavior in the downtown, he said. That's why I'm pleased to see the province's coordinated approach of both enforcement and strengthened services, which will help break the cycle of repeat offending, help people to receive the support they need, and help people feel safe and secure in our community. And I was talking with you earlier, Curtis, about how we have a great crime map here in Abbotsford, and it's fantastic because it shows you, car was broken in here, all sorts of things. And I would love if more municipalities got on board and did that as well. But that website, if you'd like to go to it, is www.abbeypd.ca. And that's the website there. And it's pretty fantastic. And I know so many clients and friends who actually work for, the public system and for those with mental health issues. And I support a couple of these houses myself, and it is really important. And I hope they do something like that. But it's like when you're at an intersection and there's always accidents, always. People die all the time. Accidents are happening all the time, but nothing gets done until enough people die, and then they finally do something about it. Well, again, maybe three times should prove it, but things take a lot longer in government. I know
it does. They call bureaucracy. Yeah.
So I wanted to move on then about new listings coming up. Now we are going into a time where it's winter. December's just around the corner, and not as much happens in the real estate world. It slows down a little.
Most people don't buy a home in November, December. Oh, wait a minute. That's when you had me buy a house.
Well, so when you're a buyer, it is a fantastic time to buy because you find some great deals out there. Because if you're a seller selling in winter, it means you pretty much have to sell. You really want to sell. You're motivated to sell. And you're a buyer. Looking in the winter, it may not be as fun. It may not be as warm. It may not look as pretty. You may have to, go through the snow and rely on pictures from last summer of the property and what it looks like because you can't see under the snow. Or you may have to fight the rain,
Yes.
But, hey, you can find some good deals because who wants to go outside and look at properties in the winter?
And move in January. That was another fun thing.
So you have less competition as a buyer. And as a seller, you've got motivated buyers as well. So
Right.
it's good on both parts, really.
Yeah, maybe not as much inventory, but people are definitely motivated.
Exactly. So with that, new listings. I've got a 1.73 acre that you can build on, the house of your dreams. And it's off Bell Street in Mission.
You just become a Southern belle there. You went into your Southern accent.
It happens sometimes.
It's like Gone with the Wind suddenly here.
Well, I was having a hard time talking before, so, It's a beautiful piece of property with the drilled well already in place, and it's septic approved. The asking price is $899, $999, and that is a Black Friday deal. And then I got a new listing as of yesterday. This is a mobile home in Desroches, so just east of Mission. It's still considered Mission, and it's about maybe 18, 20 minutes out of Mission for $100,000. And it's on a 6,000 square foot lot.
Wow.
And it's at the end of the park, so you can actually get out the back way, and you don't even have to drive through the park because you can go in and out that way. And so that's a fantastic location. It's got a huge carport, really high, so you can do a boat or an RV, but it's got a carport, it's got extra parking. It's great, and only $100,000. The house is a 2-bedroom with a workshop, and it does need tender loving care. That TLC, capital TLC, gorgeous for 6,000 square foot lot though. Wow. Beautiful area too. And then I've got a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo on the 4th floor in Upper Montrose in downtown Abbotsford. And this is in a building that I own and I love it. My tenants love it. It is a great location. You can walk everywhere. I just love downtown. So Abbotsford, that is. And so that's for $550, and that is ready to go. And it's only a year and a half old. So this is a really nice one. And then quote of the week. I was thinking of giving you the quote of the week this week, Curtis, but I didn't give you the heads up. So
it's probably safer than to you just do it then, because who knows? I'll dig back into the file. Who knows what'll come out? So let's let you do it.
Okay. So when I stand before God at the end of my life, I would hope that I would not have a single bit of talent left and could say, I used everything you gave me. I like that one. And that's from Irma Bombeck.
I like that. I was going to go with "It Ain't Over Till It's Over" from Yogi Berra. So
You did come up with a quote.
Well, I seem to always fall back to like Yogi Berra-isms or baseball coach things. So
It happens. Or a Mickey Mouse.
Or Mickey Mouse, yes, I could always do that. All right, well, if people want more information about what you do as a realtor, or maybe have a look at those listings, where can they go?
MichelleCummins.ca.
And join us again next week when we will talk real estate in order to unlock your real estate potential on a show where real estate is maximized. Thanks for listening.